So I get questions about the 2-year temporary disability rule. I've had clients who've been off work due to an industrial injury, and the temporary disability stops after 2 years. And the injured workers are like, how in the world? I'm still off work. Why did my temporary disability just stop after 2 years? That doesn't seem to make any sense. Well, I can't say it makes sense. It's the Labor Code. Labor Code section 4656 outlines that any injuries after January 1, 2008, so basically most all injuries these days, temporary disability will only extend for 104 weeks from for temporary disability within 5 years of the date of injury. So 104 weeks, it's basically 2 years. You get 2 years or 104 weeks of temporary disability within that 5-year window, 5 years from the date of injury. If the insurance company pays 104 weeks of temporary disability and you're still off work, you just had surgery yesterday, doctors are telling you you might not go back to work for 8 more months, temporary disability will still stop. It's done because the Labor Code says only 104 weeks. The insurance company should start permanent disability advances at that point, so those are going to be much lower benefit, and they get deducted from the final settlement. You also may want to consider reaching out to the EDD to get benefits because you're still off work and you're not getting either any benefits or you're only getting partial benefits from the insurance company. Just make sure you're honest with the EDD as to money that's coming in so you don't end up with a duplication of benefits. But the general rule is 104 weeks. I've had clients that say that doesn't make any sense. My injury was very severe. There are exceptions to that 104-week rule, but they're not very common. So amputations, but we're talking amputations that are relatively significant, that are going to keep you off work more than 104 weeks. Some attorneys have tried to argue a discectomy, a back surgery. It's an amputation of part of the bone out of the spine, and the courts have said no. Amputation is the common meaning, so a body part that you unfortunately have lost. Severe burns are one way to get beyond that 104 weeks. You can get up to 240 weeks if you meet one of these exceptions of the amputations, a severe burn, or a high velocity eye impact. So if you get injured with high velocity eye impact. A case just came out a week or two ago trying to go through that. Injured worker was hit by a car, and the court said that was high velocity because he was hit by the car, and it didn't necessarily need to be high velocity to the eye. It was a high velocity injury which resulted. So there's some fun nuances going on there, but a high velocity eye impact or a chemical burn to the eyes can also result in an extension. So if you had a chemical burn to the eyes, you're still off work after 104 weeks, temporary disability can continue based on those exceptions under Labor Code section 4656. But those are exceptions. The general rule is 2 years, and it is maddening. If the insurance company has been denying treatment and it took you a year, year and a half to finally get the back surgery that you needed, now you're off work because of the surgery, but temporary disability is going to be ending. It is a frustrating system. But that's it, the 2-year, 104-week rule in the Labor Code. Temporary disability gets cut off. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button down below. And if you have any comments, feel free to drop one down below.